Welcome to the show. I am Matty Marshall, and we are just about a week away from the World Cup, biggest and best event on planet Earth. Always so excited to go to World Cup. It is an absolute monster of a tournament, and we got a monster of a show today because we got the best team in the business here heading into World Cup. Yet again, they won the series title last year. And it's Moscow Red Legion, and I'm pretty excited about this one because so we have Kirill Prikhidni and we also have Alexander Berdnikov here on the show, but we also have Sergey Solnishkov joining us all the way from Moscow. And Sergey he's been a leading light in this game for a long time, and we haven't really seen him that much this year. So I expect for him to be back on the squad in 2026. But we wanted to bring him on here since we were going to bring Red Legion on as they're the #1 team heading into to World Cup. And we got another interesting one, especially with how close fit is. So we're going to get, Malloy, Kirill, and Sergey's thoughts on their first place seating right here on the brackets. And it's just this should be an interesting one here. We're also going to have Kirill translating for Sergey. We're going to talk through the brackets. Also, we got a lot of content here going to hit you in the next week. Top 10 plays from Texas are going to be dropping here on Thursday. We also got the documentary Impact's win from the last event. Huge win for them, kind of setting the stage for them to have a big shot here potentially at World Cup. And then also we also put up all the monkey with the gun stuff. So you want to trip down memory lane and see World Cups of past and some of the lore in this sport. Definitely check out Major League Paintball Plus and see some of the big time history that that cement that was laid to form the foundation for what we currently have today. So without any further ado, let's bring in some of my favorite guys in this sport, man. I mean, these guys have been leading lights for a long period of time, really kind of, setting the bar as some guys have said. I mean, Alexander Berdnikov literally was nicknamed the bar by some pro players, meaning like he's putting the bar up here and we got it. That's where we got to get to. Let's bring these boys in here and start this conversation. We're going to first start out with, well, first of all, how you guys doing? I know, so Malloy and Kirill, you guys are currently in Florida grinding, getting ready for Cup. And then Sergey, man, it's been sad actually to see you not on the squad or on this season, or at least other than the beginning of the season. So I can't wait to see you back. You've been such a fundamental part of every single team that you played on. And we're actually going to start with that here in a little bit. But so you're out in Moscow. So I'm glad that we could all, get it all together and all be here at the same time. Let's start with you, though, Malloy, Kirill. How's it down in Florida right now? How's the weather? How's the training going?
Can I say, check, like we now in team house. Hey, guys. 1, 2, 3. Опа, вот все.
Got the team house. Are you guys in Tampa? Are you outside Tiki's right now?
Yes, we on tickets, yeah.
Nice. Kirill, are you out by the pool right now? It looks like you got the pool, the background of the pool right there. You out by the pool, hanging out, enjoying the weather?
That's a backyard, sir. Yeah, of almost the same team house. Yeah, so we had to spread to make sure that sound is not going to be connected and you guys can hear us well. But weather actually right now here in Florida is amazing. It's sunny, but all at the same time, because of the hurricane somewhere in Caribbean, the airflow is different. So it's like plus 22, maybe, no humidity. It feels amazing. If it stays the same till the Cup, all the team's going to be super happy to be able to play in such kind of a weather conditions. They could be the best throughout that season so far.
That's good to hear. Sometimes it's been good that we've been having it in November because it does make it a little bit more nice paintball weather instead of being hot and humid. But we've been dodging hurricanes forever, so I'm glad that one it dipped away from Orlando. So we're going to be doing a thing here again. We're going to highlight some of or discuss Sergey's career here. Hopefully we can get him back on the squad soon. I definitely should be with you guys. And then we have one highlight because we could turn this into a highlight show. I think we might do that for the off season. But I really wanted to pick your guys' brain and get a little bit of conversation going about the year, the team, and how you guys have been doing. But I did, and the highlight that I chose to display here, which we'll play in a little bit, but I kind of want to talk about Sergey's career before we kind of jump into things, because Sergey and Kirill's going to be translating for us so we can get good answers here. But Sergey's had an amazing career, and he was a big component of your starting five. I do also want to discuss, as we kind of get into it a little bit further on, how interesting your roster's been, because you have this super deep roster, but when we actually get to the actual tournaments, you guys basically run with 5, maybe 6 guys. Sometimes you'll get certain guys looks, and it's been different guys, especially since, you know, we haven't had Sergey, and then you got J-Rab. It's been interesting. But so Kirill, let's start this off, since you're going to be doing the translating here for Sergey. I wanted to ask Sergey, you know, what is it about this sport he loves so much from the competitive side of things? Because he's been doing this at a top level since, I believe, 2006. When I was going back and kind of counting all the wins up, he's had 23 wins with different teams. So, but before I start asking him some questions, which you're going to be translating, about his career and the run that he's had, what is it that he loves about paintball so much?
Серег, разминочный вопрос, который предваряет историю про твои 23 победы. Это то, что тебя привлекает в пейнтболе как в соревновательном виде спорта, который держит тебя вот уже 19 лет.
Можно играть в войнушку официально.
The answer is pretty much simple. You can you can play a pew pow game as kids, right? But to be a grown up person with a beard and so.
Yeah, I mean, I always heard it called this way. It's like it's war with no death. You know, we get to simulate playing war, but no one actually dies. And then you just get to have this hardcore competition that's very physical. It's mentally demanding. It requires you to work with your teammates. There's just a kind of a lot to it. And I think it's a special thing. So it's, you know, when I start to talk to legends, you know, Sergey is a legend in the sport. Whenever you do retire, if you go up on that Hall of Fame vote, which we just did, that'll probably be a pretty easy vote for me to get you into the Hall of Fame at some. All of you guys. I mean, those are going to be really easy votes. Oh yeah, Kirill. Yep, he's first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. So it's always interesting to see what the motivation is, because he's been doing it for so long. I know it's a profession for him and he gets paid, but there's other lucrative things you could be doing out here in life. So there has to require a certain love for the game. And so ask him that. Is it just all about the struggle and it's a job, or is there still kind of like a love for it that he really appreciates the game?
Слушай, ну итоговый вопрос, Серег, в том, да, какой у тебя эмоции, passion.
В первой команде, в команде «Русский легион», первая мотивация была, конечно же, победить на чемпионате мира, выиграть первый кубок в первый раз. В следующей команде это был новый вызов, потому что мы попадали в новую систему, в американскую систему. Нужно было, помимо того, чтобы показать свою, помочь, вернее, команде, так еще и оставаться на своем высоком уровне, так когда ты попадаешь совершенно в другую систему. Третья команда, это было прикольное возвращение домой со всеми там русскими игроками, ну, в большей степени, да, с которыми ты до этого выиграл World Cup. Потом, к сожалению, там наша команда закончила свое существование, и нужно было вернуться в старую американскую команду. Мотивация, они тогда очень плохо играли, мотивация была снова команду поднять наверх. То есть от тебя много что зависело, ставили большие ставки. Ну и возвращение домой. Самая главная мотивация – помочь команде дальше продолжать выигрывать. И тренера перед подписанием в 2019 году поставили задачу, что я должен помочь команде выиграть на чемпионате мира, а основная, еще вторая мотивация – это помочь молодым игрокам быстрее. То есть вот каждый раз в новой команде попадалась какая-то мотивация. Для чего это нужно делать снова и снова.
So you, Matty, already told that Sergey been traveling through different teams, and this is actually the answer from Sergey why he stayed for so long in that sport, because every other team had its own motivation. So starting with the Legion, his main motivation was to win the World Cup. With Heat, when he parted ways with Red Legion, that was a challenge to be useful for a new system, for a completely new system with American built up team. And he was supposed to show the class there and also make sure that he's more than just useful. Third team was also the switch of going back to mostly Russian players in a different combination, but still it's kind of returning back home. And he once again was supposed to prove that he's the best. Afterwards, going back to Houston Heat again, that was a main challenge to make those guys playing better, because when he got back to them for the second time, they were not that good as he left them, right? And getting back into the home team to Red Legion, to us, signing down the contract with coaches. Coaches told him right away, hey, you need to make our team winning again. So every time, as you hear, it's a new challenge in a new perspective, in a new new combination of people, right? But everybody knows that in a couple of years, the situation could be different, even with the same family, even with the same group of people. So that's why that's one of the best part of the sports, because like it never stays the same, and you're changing teams, and those teams are changing. And every time there is a new challenge, new passion, new job, new goals for Sergey. And Sergey, that's my part. It's extremely hard to do that. I actually never thought about that, seriously. So many changes. I never look into that way. But to be same competitive, to be same high challenging, wow. Like, wow.
No, I'm with you on that. I just real quick before we move on, and I want to show this clip because I want to talk about how you guys work together on the field, and we can bring Malloy into this. He's in this clip as well too. But just to highlight your career a bit here, Sergey, so starting off in 2006, which is the farthest that PB Leagues goes back. So Red Legion, 2006 to 2011, 7 wins. Then Houston Heat, founded Houston Heat. One of the guys that was that 2012 was their first year. Immediately successful, and only in 2 years, 4 wins. Then goes to Art Chaos, 2 wins in a year with 1 year of Art Chaos. Then back to Houston Heat from 2015 to 18, 5 wins. Also, there's World Cup victories in here too. It's not like, every win is difficult, but the World Cup is the most difficult event to win. And then back to Red Legion in 2019. And, you guys had your struggles, and, we've talked about that, Kirill, on different shows in years past. But you guys have now catapulted back up to being at the top of the division, in the best division in the entire world. You guys are number 1 heading into overall, taking it back from PB Fit. That's been an interesting rivalry. You guys won the series title last year. So then Sergey, Red Legion 2019 to current, even though you haven't been over for most of this year, but 5 wins in that amount of time. It's just been incredibly, that's 23 wins overall. Look, man, it's hard to win one pro paintball tournament. For all the people here that are listening, if you're a fan and you go to World Cup, when you walk out to that pro field, you're going to see a bunch of banners that are going to be ringing the field. And there's not a lot of names up there. There's not a lot of team names on those banners. Those are the teams that have won tournaments recently. We're not going all the way back to 2006. But that's why it's teams like Red Legion, teams like Dynasty. Even teams that haven't won in a long time, like Infamous hasn't won in years, but historically they were a very successful team. X Factor, also lots of seconds and thirds. I didn't count the seconds and thirds on this list. Tons of seconds and podiums, seconds and thirds. So again, I could sing those praises for a while, and I think you deserve it. But before we move on and look at this clip, the question I want you to ask Sergey here, Kirill, and this is something that we could get to a little bit with the two of you. I know Malloy will bring you in here, but we haven't. Sergey doesn't do a lot of shows, so if I get a chance to talk to Sergey, I got to ask him some questions. And so, what's it been like to be in the deep water, to be at the top of the pinnacle of the game, and then going to these different teams to fight the whole time, to be elite? What type of mindset does it take in order to do that? Because Sergey's not the smallest dude. Sergey's a big dude that plays a really difficult position. You're either attacking up the middle, or you have to play that 2 position where you got to get a read on things, and you got to bring your paintball IQ into it. So what has it been like as a mental struggle to stay at the top of the game for almost 20 years now?
Серег, каков твой фокус каждый раз, когда перед тобой появляется этот новый челлендж, когда ты ныряешь в эту глубокую воду, а потом из этой глубокой воды должен выйти, учитывая то, что ты и большой чувак, и возрастной чувак, и тебе нужно реактивно реагировать на все эти изменения и еще и в атаку переходить, ко всему прочему.
Ну, наверное, начнем с того, что когда я попал в систему Русского легиона, наверное, весь коллектив и тренерский, и менеджмент правильно научил относиться к этому спорту, правильную поставил мне базу, да, потому что когда я пришел, вы уже все выигрывали, я хотел так же, как вы, и в те условия, в те правила, в которые я попал, они, наверное, заложили правильную базу. Как находить мотивацию, как все это нырять, но когда ты поднимаешься высоко на гору, очень больно падать вниз. Поэтому, чтобы не падать вниз, нужно всегда тяжело работать. Что касается физических данных, это работа на протяжении всей моей карьеры, потому что это всегда разная физическая форма. Ты чуть худеешь, чуть набираешь. Это все 20 лет поиск лучшей кондиции, чтобы показывать хорошие результаты.
So what Sergey is saying, that it's very important where you start at. If you start in the correct school, this school teaches you what it is to be a high-level sportsman. It sets up your bar. And he's thankful for starting this career in Red Legion, because when he joined the team was already winning team, and he was supposed to be at the same level. And coaches explain him that it's very useful to grind and to get up, and then it's very painful to fall down. So that's why the main mindset, never fell down, because it's very painful. You better be up there grinding and raising the bar as high as possible. Plus, Sergey managed to do some other sports, and those sports also teach him that it's super important to be in a great shape, to be challenging, not only when you go and play, it's also in your normal life. Being a sportsman is a whole philosophy, and that's what actually making a difference of us and Sergey in particular. Because like for Americans, paintball, it's my part. The way how you guys realize that, right? You guys having your normal jobs and you're not giving your all into the sports. It's kind of hobby, yeah, with all the respect, with all what you guys doing, with paintball being an American sport. But it's not all your life. It's not 7 days a week practice. And Sergey is a 7 days a week practice person. If there is no paintball practice, he is grinding into the gym or go into some fights or go into the soccer and all of that stuff.
No, it's just been impressive, man. Respect, Sergey. I've been doing this for 30 plus years now, and I've seen every player, and you're one of the best. So really can't wait for you to get back with the boys. Darren, can we rack up this clip? Again, this is not like the great, this is just a clip. This is like perfect Legion paintball. Okay. You're tied with Dynasty deep into the tournament. You're playing San Diego Dynasty, the most winning team ever. We're talking about Sergey's 23 wins. Okay. Well, Ryan Greenspan and the core of this team has like 57, so, but you're not intimidated. So let's just watch this play it out. So Sergey is he's 23 right there. He's going to shoot, edge out, stay in this blind zone, time it perfect, get across the gap, get in clean, had to dive through a lane. You guys shoot that inside body. Sergey shoots the inside body. You trap Dynasty in the pocket. Now Sergey is going to get up on one side, and here comes Malloy. Now on the other side of the field, we lose Kirill out of the middle. Now Malloy is going to close the hinge, the angles of the attack. So now you guys have trapped Dynasty in the pocket. You're even up bodies. It's 44, 4-on-4. But with Sergey out wide and Malloy out wide, Dynasty doesn't have much they can do here. And with 9 minutes-ish, right around 9 minutes on the clock, you guys are able to control from that inside. Malloy almost gets caught right here. Malloy, you almost get caught. Oh, had to dive away from that one, but he did shoot you. And then you're still alive. And then this was like a good example of the tempo and how you guys play this game. You're playing the best team ever to do it. It's early on in the season. There's a lot of time on the clock. You could have very easily had just gone to the game plan that they went to, which was a pocket play. Instead, you're using the versatility and the athleticism of your players. So Sergey is going to start, get his gun up, edge out, go in the blind zone, get across the gap, get a read on it, get into the snake, aggressively push forward, gets right up to a good spot. Then now on the other side, you're pushing up on that side as well too. And then and so Malloy, maybe we could bring you in here. We're going to obviously be picking your brain on some stuff as we move forward, but maybe we could bring you in here and then we'll throw another question to Sergey. But talk to me about the way you guys play the game, because the tempo and the style that you bring is different from every other team. You guys are willing to lose bodies to take ground, to take real estate, to get forward. Even if you lose a body, you don't care. And you want to play, it seems like, as many points as possible. We always joke behind the scenes when I'm talking to other players and coaches, and I'm like, how did the field play in practice? And they'll say, oh, it played like this, or it played a little slow, or played a little fast. And then we always joke, we're like, well, when Legion plays, we'll actually find out how fast it plays, because you guys have your own mentality of how you play this game, which as a paintball fan, I have to respect, because, growing up, it was always like you want to play aggressive paintball, quote unquote. You wanted to be pushing the issue. You wanted to exert your will on your opponents. And even in an era in which are the meta or the paradigm or the overarching strategy of the game, because margin is so important and people play the margin so much, it has slowed down the pace of the game. You guys do not play that way. You don't play that way. You literally, I can't remember it really, maybe a few occasions here or there, but almost never are you not trying to exert your will on your opponents and being aggressive. So Malloy, what do you like? Why is that? Why do you guys do that? Because that's not, that's not what a lot of the other teams do.
We can say because this is top secret, it's top secret information. It's KGB looking for us right now, and that's why let's go. We don't speak about our strategy before World Cup. No, but
Bro,
to be honest, check. No, it's joke.
You can keep. No, I know you're joking, but you can try to keep it secret, bro. But everybody knows, like we get to watch all your games, and so everyone knows what you're gonna do. It's like it's gonna be you making some crazy move. You're gonna send Karslev's gonna have 5 routes on the D side. If Sergey was there, he'd be doing things like that clip, and then J-Rab's gonna be back there making big moves. Kirill's gonna be attacking up the middle. Like everybody knows it's coming, they just can't stop it most of the time. Sometimes, but not a lot.
Yeah, but same time, guys, it's good for fans too. Fans for people who watching the paintball. Yeah, it's I think it's a little bit not good for watching paintball. Yeah, if you like come, for example, to World Cup, it's a lot of teams to come to World Cup. Yeah, and not just World Cup, for all events. And if you come for like maybe 1,000 miles away and you come for watching final or like some prelims games and just game ended like 3-1, I don't think so. This is very interesting for watching for everybody, And for fan, you must to show the show, And this is one of the things. We work on this one too, We want like everybody be happy too. And
preach, brother. Preach. Yes, thank God. Please preach the gospel. Yes.
What doesn't
love it?
Is you hear me or no?
Oh no, I hear you. I'm telling you, when I'm saying preach, brother, meaning like you're saying like facts, truth, speaking truth.
Мэти говорит, продолжай проповедь.
Я понял. Я просто сначала думал, что это просто не слышно. But to be honest, this is like our chief, our main chief, our commander, this is not new. We play this game like very long time ago, but looks like after when field layout is changed and change all not combination like paintball, and everybody start to play a little bit slowly, like crossfield, like in 2014, you guys making a lot of crossfields, and everybody just sit in the pocket and shoot the paint, and everybody start play this slow, and looks like this is how Kirill say. Everybody go back, like Kirill, как это, circle, and this is like circle, and this is circle right now again to like go and fast the play. This is not a game, yeah, he be always, but sometimes you little bit not frustrate. It's like when you do like exactly same work, sometimes you like forget main point, and over here same. And now we like make comeback about this our active game, like same if you're watching previously games like 2006 5, all games it's be fast. You remember in 2005 we have just 3 pots, and we shoot the 15 bps, and funny thing, you have enough for all points, 3 pots. Now you have 6 or 8 pots and you're not enough,
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that, I mean, just real quick, it's interesting because you guys play a ton of paintball, and that, again, like Kirill, you had said, and, Sergey was talking about like, hey, man, it's my job, so I'm going to take it seriously. There are other guys that get paid to play this game. I mean, you guys are one of the best organizations in the world as far as making sure that everyone is required and dedicated to do this as a main focus. There are a few other teams, PB. So I coach divisional teams here out on the West Coast, and I started doing that last year. But I used you guys as an example when I would, when somebody would call me up like, hey, Matty, can you come and help coach our squad? I would show up on day one, and I would say to them, hey, beginning of this season, hey, from last year, so who were the 2 teams that stuck out to you guys? Just show of hands. Anyone got any names on the tips of their tongue? And somebody would raise their hand and be like, you. They'd be like, Red Legion. I'm like, and then someone else right now, like, hey, PB Fit. It was always Red Legion and PB Fit. You guys won the series and won a couple events, and PB Fit won the World Cup. I'm like, okay, who do you think plays the most amount of paintball in the entire professional division? And then they'd say PB Fit and Red Legion. I'm like, yeah. Do you think it's a mystery that PB Fit and Red Legion are the best teams right now? They dedicate themselves to this. They require their guys to give everything they got to this, and it's producing a ton of results. So now you guys play slightly different styles than PB Fit. Yours is definitely a more, you have the most reckless style of any team in the game, especially, and that's high risk considering it's not really high risk for you. But how much of that is the talent versus hard work? Do you think that you guys can play that style because you have such a high level of talent and experience, and you play so much that you just get the flow state in your mind? I'll throw this to you, Kirill. Is that because you've been here since the beginning, essentially with Red Legion, and seen all the different incarnations of it, but you guys have kept this style. You guys have upped your training to this level. You guys have always been training a ton. But how much of that, of your results and your style of play, is contingent on talent level and experience and the amount of training you guys put in?
Basis is on the training regime and the skills that we're receiving. And basis is back in the history when we came for the first time over to US in 2001 for the World Cup. And we were shocked that Americans can run and shoot at the same time, because we were having like short tanks. We could like sit on both knees and shoot from that position. And Americans were running and shooting and beating us up. We were okay in Russia. We were okay in Europe, but in US, we were nothing. And that's actually when Chief, Sergey, he realized that active game is the most important game, because you're not just sitting and waiting when the opponent is going to make a mistake. You're forcing the opponent to make a mistake with your active game. Of course, there must be talent behind that. But he created a system that can make a talented, skillful player out of any other player. Because once again, with all the respect to American school, to American circuit, you guys are natural talents. you guys are having a huge natural selection over here, but there is no system like ABCD system how you can pick up any other player and create a decent force out of that unit. Red Legion managed, first of all, to pick up the gems like Sergey, like Malloy, and made a crystal out of those people.
Universal
Those guys
soldier.
Universal soldier.
Jog.
Yeah.
It's not possible to say right now on the.
No, you can. Hey, you can tell as many jokes as you want, Malloy. Whatever you want to do, baby. No, it is interesting because it's always that's it's because there's a lot of divisional players that watch this, and obviously you have your fans that just want to watch you guys play, but a lot of those guys are fans, but they play too, and they'll play down in D4 in their regional league or D3 or wherever it may be, and they're always kind of looking for some sort of insight. Well, okay, what can I do to get better? But you guys do teach. Do you guys still doing clinics and stuff? Because talk to me, Kirill, before we kind of move on, because I want to talk. We got a little bit more time to go, but I do want to talk about your guys' season. I want to talk about the brackets, and obviously got to hype up World Cup because that's the big one. But because you guys have now started to train a ton down, because you used to have your spot in Moscow, and I'm guessing maybe you guys still do have that. But then you kind of moved you transitioned a lot of your training down to Florida. And so you require guys that are on the squad to go down to Florida and be there for a certain amount of time. And that's kind of dependent on their regular life. But obviously, you guys have been down there for a while. So maybe you could kind of talk to me about that program. And are you guys teaching clinics? Like, how do people get a little slice of that Red Legion program? It's obviously been successful. So this will probably be your time to sell that, let people know, man.
So to be honest, we are focused on developing the local community here in Florida, especially in Tampa, around the paintball camp that used to be known as Tiki's. Now it's a Thunder Valley. Guys made an official rename. And we actually brought up our school, the Red School over here. We're having like every week classes. And we have like 2 times a year, those clinics and tryouts when we are advising people to come and get tested for their level, about if they are good enough to join the D5 team and D4 team as the beginning. Plus, we're also trying to see who's good enough to join the challengers team, which is kind of semi-professional team, and who possibly gonna be taken for the chance to try themselves with the pro division. We had a fantastic experience for the past 3 years with local kids over here, having so much fun and joy working with the young talents. And we saw radical growth when those talents that's been naturally selected over here and love the sport get a hand of our school on them. They were growing so fast with such a lot of a passion. The only trouble was about the experience, because like they have to be seated, and that's the main issue when people want to have everything right here and right now. Unfortunately, it's not happening. The big sports are all about that. Yeah, with all respect to some young talents who were benching for our team for like 2 seasons, had a few chances to go and state themselves, but I've been sitting for 3 years on the bench to be able to go and play. Malloy almost a little bit less of that time, because Sergey,
I think
maybe 2 years maximum.
I think Sergey have good story about how he come to play on the first his event when he sit on the bench. And can I just say about him? Like I know this story. Sorry, Kirill. He sit on the bench, and we play in 2008. What I remember. And no, earlier. And what happened? One of the event, we like lost first half, like 5-0, 0-5, yeah. Maybe, yeah, 7, yeah. And what happened? Like 0-5, we 0, Iron Man 5, yeah. And we don't know what need to do, because like we do everything, but doesn't work. And Chief say, like he take list of the people, yeah, like already squads, and he say, okay, you down, Sergey, go to like show what you can, what you got, you know, like he say, show what you got. Yeah, but in Russian. Sergey go and
What is that
attack
in
on the
Russian?
D side, you know, like
What is
yeah,
that in
like
Russian?
he go and
Hey,
attack
show
on
us
the
what you
D.
got. How do you say that in Russian?
Yeah, Sergey, Серега, выходи, покажи, что ты можешь.
Yeah,
And
there's
what
that.
happened? And this is huge tall guy, like bump to after break to small Darita, you know, and like start to gunfight, and we start to make comebacks, you know, and very interesting, we make comeback and we won like this game of the 9-on-8. This is semifinal. But okay, this is just
So
small
that
story about Sergey. Kirill now continue about make marketing about tickets, because we have top secret. No, say our top secret about like we have like this one, and people can practicing the build the how you say, like build the diamonds.
Yeah, and the final pinnacle of this school is about having like a proper training ground, because like paintball. Let me finish my preach, okay? Paintball is an amazing sports, but it's a dirty sports. It's like underground sports. It's uh like sports from Mad Max. When you come to any other field, it's fantastic. We all love it. That smell, that paint everywhere, your gear that you can't put into the washing machine of your family. You have to go through a wipe control, first of all. Yeah, otherwise you can't get your stuff into the washing machine, right? So, and paintball has like a clean version with a proper, nice artificial turf with a nice roof on top, with using artificial paintballs, which are reballs pretty much, right? And having like a nice shower, nice changing room, nice everything. So you come for such kind of a practice and you feel yourself much better. You spend like 2 hours, you do like 200 repetitions, and you have that skill to go and play active game. And what Sasha wanted me to say, that at Thunder Valley, we have our Thunderdome. You probably can check our social resources and see that inflated structure that we based up here, and probably going to be trying to make a repetition of what we have achieved in Moscow with our campground since 2019 over there.
I think it's great to hear, man. It just because the knowledge transference. So you guys have the experience and the knowledge to take that and then give that to put it into a digestible nugget and give it to the next generation is huge for the future of the game, because you can't do this forever. You guys have been doing this for a long time. You show no signs of slowing down, but trust me, as a 47-year-old man, like eventually you can't do it forever. So but the knowledge remains, and the facility is also super important too. We're blessed to have some really cool paintball fields out here in Southern California that guys can train at, well, all over California. And it's been a mecca for a long time. Same with Texas, and Florida's had that as well too. But it is really good news if you're a Floridian right now and you want a place to go train. It's like between what you guys are doing in Tampa and then, out in, I know the Edwards brothers or Jason, and they're doing stuff out there. It's just really good to hear that there's awesome facilities that you can go to try to, one, get the knowledge from people that know what they're talking about, two, the actual foundation of how to train properly, and then three, the facility to do so, and to have it be clean where you don't have to go home and be like, hey babe, I'm gonna wash all my disgusting paintball stuff that smells like rotting, like, I don't know, just throw like a rotting piece of meat in like a dark place for a week. That's what it smells like. Can I put that in with your dresses? Oh, I can't. Okay, cool. No, exactly. So I hear you on that. No, it's good. So let's move in and talk a little bit about how you guys are feeling heading into Cup, and just kind of set the stage here. So you guys are sitting number 1 overall. PB Fit started out this year just like they did at the end of last year. They won 3 events in a row. I got to get your thoughts on PB Fit. They won World Cup, won the event in Tampa, go win event number 2, and then they take 5th and a 7th. But you guys have been incredibly consistent, but it is a 4-point race right now heading into World Cup. I mean, you guys are sitting at 684. They're sitting at 680. You guys with a fourth, a third, a win at the third event, and then a fifth at the last one. So, and then Impact with double points at Cup. If something bad happens to you guys, it's just going to be tough though for Impact to catch you guys because you guys are playing in that seeding round. So you're going to get the bye. Again, there's kind of a little bit to discuss here. Let's just start with this. Your thoughts on Fit. Because again, when we talk about programs, training a lot, having a great facility, they have that. I was just down at the regional event at PB Fit, and it was just an armada of divisional teams down there. They've got something special going on there. Obviously, their team has been an incredibly cool paintball story. Kirill, let me start with you. Your thoughts on PB Fit, because that's your rival right now. You know, it's you guys in PB Fit for number 1 and number 2 heading into Cup. You guys got them by a slight, tiny bit of a lead. You both have won tournaments this year. What do you think?
I'll be short on my version because, like, we definitely need to ask Sergey because he's having a disadvantage, but all at the same time, a huge advantage of not going with the team because he has a chance to watch over the situation and have 100% objective vision on what's going on. Because like my personal feelings about the Fit guys, I'm their biggest fan. Like what they have done with that story of that group of kids who with that number of talents over there managed to go and state themselves as the top of the highest and challenging league in the world. That's the story that's supposed to be in the movies. So like 20 years ago, I thought that this movie was supposed to be done about Dynasty. Later on, I thought it's supposed to be done about us. Then I thought about Iron Man and Houston Heat. But nowadays, it's no doubt the story is supposed to be created on them, on Paintball Fit. But talking about not emotionally, but technically and strategically, let's ask Sergey because he sees the situation with the bright eyes from the distance, but all at the same time without that chance of getting punished by those people and having like some extra emotions. Серег, дай, пожалуйста, свою оценку фитов, да, потому что у тебя объективная картинка, как бы, ну, ты там тоже, мы все вместе от них получили, но ты потом видел, как они играют и что у них поменялось.
Слушай, фиты непосредственно, когда они играют с нами, у них есть две невероятные вещи, которые они используют против нас. Первая вещь – это невероятно классная стрельба на разбежке. И вторая – очень классно они видят наши слабые стороны и используют это на полную катушку. Вот все игры, которые я пересмотрел против них, вот они невероятно делают. Если это мы вспомним World Cup, или мы вспомним в Атлантике игра, то есть вроде бы все, мы все везде забили, всех везде убили, всех отстреляли, но они находят вот этот вот минимальный какой-то наш косяк и невероятно туда бьют. Что касается по всему турниру, да, то как они играют, то, что я увидел за 2 турнира, они намного быстрее находят рабочие фишки в новом поле. То есть, ну, спарринг это спаррингом, а когда уже выходит команда на турнир, то есть там все равно что-то меняется постепенно. Вот. А они намного быстрее находят рабочие процессы, и поэтому, наверное, и они их, получается, находят быстрее и больше времени они их отрабатывают. Поэтому, когда они выходят в воскресенье, уже к воскресенью кто-то тоже нашел эту же рабочую дорогу, но они ее уже тренируют непосредственно на турнире. Наверное, вот то, что я про них увидел.
So Sergey has and speaks about one universal superpower of Fit. Since those kids are intelligent and they're playing as a team, they are that group of people that manage to find the working combination and feature of that layout quicker than anybody else. Of course, everybody else kind of find this working combination later on during the tournaments, but they know it and they practice it throughout the tournament. So they have simply more playing time and more variations about doing this. And second part from Sergey is about those 2 super features that Fit are using against us. Since we're practicing together, They know our weak spots. They know how to use those spots against us and how to play exactly against those spots. And they use the breakout shots as a huge artillery against us. We can't survive their breakout shots for some reason. Neither Pasha, no Malloy, no Denny, even J-Rob and me and Sergey, we all getting punished by those guys.
Yeah, that they've just doubled down on what they're really good at. I'm noticing with Fit is that they seem to understand the flow of pressure. So when you're out there playing a game, and Malloy, you're really good at this. Actually, I kind of like all your opinions on this because I think this is a really big part of being really good at paintball, is that you have your over. So the coach goes, here's what we're trying to do. Hey, you go here, you go here, you go here. Once that happens, and we know how the field plays, you already kind of know what you're trying to achieve, the overarching strategy, right? But once you get into that, if there's a gun shifted one way instead of the other way, and figuring that out and knowing, because Malloy's, and honestly, all three of you guys did this in your own roles, right? Is that when you don't feel pressure based on what you normally are feeling. Okay, if there's two guns on me, okay, I'm not really going to press this unless we're down, we're chasing points. And then you'll press it if you have to. You put a guy in and make a move. But you guys are so good, and Fit is so good at reading the ebb and the flow, the push and the pull of the pressure. So if the guns are, and as the guns shift and as they go back and forth, and that's the chess match of the game. It's like, oh, we're being attacked over here. Oh, we have to put a gun this way, but we can't put all the guns that way. We got to make sure there's still pressure this way. And so it's putting pressure and shots downfield and attention to certain lanes and zones downfield, knowing who is where with the communication and all these different things flowing backfield or across field. You guys just do that so well. And I mean, is that something that comes, I mean, you obviously you train that, but when I look at Fit play, it looks like one organism a lot of times moving downfield as organized as it possibly can be. Same with you guys. You guys play a slightly more aggressive brand of paintball than they do, but that was like that clip we saw. It's like it's a set game plan. Okay, Sergey, you're going to shoot the cut on the inside. You're going to edge out, and then you're going to get a read on the lane. Then you're going to dive across, and you're going to get here. And then now Malloy, you're going to launch on the other side. And within 30 seconds, if we shoot a body inside and they're trapped in the pocket, now we have a giant strategic and tactical advantage. And let's just be smart after that. They do that really well. You guys do that really well. When I look at the lower ranked teams, these teams and that are fighting to even stay in the pro league, it takes them longer to understand the flow of the pressure, the moves that are happening. It's a slower evolving organism that sometimes has to do it by themselves. Does that make sense, Kirill? Do you understand what I'm saying here as far as the tightness of your movements, the tightness of your communication? Fit does the same thing. Do you agree, disagree?
Let's address that question to Sasha. Сашка, я тебе тоже переведу. Мэтти спрашивает и говорит, его понимание игры таковое, что фиты, что мы понимаем, с какой стороны перестало быть давление, и начинаем в ту сторону распространяться. И Мэтти сравнивает топовые команды, которые быстрее с этим справляются, и приводит, в частности, нас как пример, и приводит коллективы из нижнего списка, которые с этим не справляются, а играют по установке тренера. Ты как смотришь на эту историю с давлением? Это то, что ты и наша команда или фиты вычленяет внутри поинта, или это история, которая задана заранее, и ты благодаря своему скиллу должен это все как бы сделать, даже несмотря на то, что давление есть на тебе сейчас? И еще включи звук, тебя не было слышно.
Uh-oh. Can you hear him? Can't hear him. Oh. Is the mic down?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh, looks like his headset died. Well, maybe Sergey can answer that while Malloy's trying to figure out and get his audio fixed. Yeah. So also, Malloy, if you go up to the top, you'll be able to kind of see where you can get your headset dialed in from there. But just real quick, because we need to move on. I can't keep you guys here all day because I do want to talk about the brackets. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I just feel that understanding of the flow of pressure, the tactics, and the communication cross-field, where it being kind of one organism that's working as symbiotic as it possibly can, just like the heart is synced up with the lungs, is synced up with the brain. Our bodies ambulate around the world and are able to do complex things because of that synchronization. When you look at a paintball team that's playing really well and winning tournaments, there's a grittiness to it. There's a intensity from a mentality. But when I watch it, and it just looks very fluid, it looks calculated, it looks dialed in that situation. You know, I mean, maybe you could ask Sergey about that, Kirill, because he was a big part of that, you know, when in that starting five.
Sergey.
And I just think that's oh, wait, we got Malloy back? Malloy, you there?
Слышно меня? Слышно?
Yeah, good to go.
About the question. First, I think, this is like my opinion. We and Fit, this is, I think, just two teams who practice a lot than anybody else. This is first of the things. And one of the important things too. Слышно или нет?
Слышно.
Yeah, no, we hear you for sure.
And over here automatically go another. When you practice a lot, you have a lot of experience. Yeah, and after you start to check by yourself and with coach, and you see, and after you be on the tournament and on the practice, be on the same page, how Americans say. Yeah, and over here burn the win.
No, it's super crucial to understand that flow of things if you want to win paintball tournaments. You guys do it, and it obviously playing together is a huge part of that. So before I let you guys go, let me ask you about playing in this seeding bracket, right? So you guys have this situation where you're playing and that you guys already make it on, and then so you don't have to worry about getting knocked out. You don't have to scrap through. But the teams that have to scrap through are dangerous, and we've seen this has been a point of conversation at World Cup. You guys have all been here in this situation now as a top team and have done well enough on Sunday where it hasn't really been too much of an issue. But that's kind of the first, I think, one of those interesting things. I talked to some of the fit guys about it as well when I was in Texas. But I mean, Kirill, what are your thoughts on that? You know, you're playing games that you're playing for seeding. You know, you're not playing any of the teams that are trying to play to get in to make it on. You guys have already made it on. So what's the mentality like in that situation?
So we've had that upset last year from Fit, with all the respect to the guys. They were on fire last year at exactly the same period of time. And doesn't matter that we've been really well going through our fantasy bracket, which was mostly about the sit-in, yeah? We probably didn't receive the real fighting experience, yeah, because like all of the teams in that pro, whatever high sit-in level, fifth bracket, we are not really playing our lives. We're just playing for the sit-in. And that was our experience from the last year that, okay, we played it. We were number one place, but did we learn the reality? Did we learn like those pressure points that you were talking about, Matty? And Fit did. They were grinding their game through their preliminary rounds, and they were seriously fighting for those pressure points, and they knew how to use those instead of us. So the main mentality for us so far is not to get into the same trap.
Yeah, I just real quick. So looking at last year at World Cup, it was really interesting because you had a situation. So you beat Scout 5-3, you beat Houston Heat 5-3, you beat X Factor by 4, 7-3. and then you go right into the quarterfinals, just like you said, and you lose to PB Fit. Now, PB Fit, on the other hand, had a brutal run to get to you. I mean, it was just, they beat Aftermath, they beat Spider Fusion, they beat Notorious, they look good, but then they lose to Damage. Then they have to beat Damage again, or so they have to play Damage again, and they beat them 5-1. So Damage twice in a row, all of that paintball until they match up with you guys who get the bye into the quarterfinals. So my question, I think a lot of maybe Red Legion fans out there, people that are super fans, is like, well, what do you guys do to stop that? Like, what does Red Legion do to stop that? I mean, how do you get mentally ready when you know you're playing games just to see who you're going to play? It's a seeding game. And it's going to be fun to watch the best teams play against each other. I'm looking forward to that. You know, I mean, we get to see, you know, the best teams in the business all slug it out against each other. But that being said, you know, because it's Legion, Fit, Impact, and Breakout Spa, the number one team from Europe. You guys are all going to play each other. So you're playing the best teams in the world. But my question to you is, how do you stop that from happening? How do you stop what happened last year? And that's all up here, right? Because you can't.
Matty, I think this is same like on big sport. You need to be ready for everything, and like you need to be ready and practicing like paintball, and you need to be ready like mental too. You know, this is hard, but you need to beat yourself. Yeah, I mean like and work on your mental and like personally and like team too.
Yeah, this is like
And maybe
strong
we'd ask
motivation.
yeah.
One
Yeah,
World
ask
Cup
Sergey
and
too, because Sergey,
Ah,
you won a lot of World Cups.
Sorry. And one thing too. Check because we over here for about Sergey too speaking. Yeah. Because like Sergey not be like how many like two events, and Sergey make good job about motivation, because like when we won Cincinnati, he like sent huge message like this one, yeah, to say to it's like mental message like, hey guys, and like and this is Sergey good make for us before Cincinnati. And I hope this is work too on World Cup too.
We'll see,
You have
bro.
to,
We'll
right?
see.
No choice. It's the last event. But maybe again, you know, you guys have all won lots of World Cups. You guys have all been there before. I mean, so Sergey, let me ask you, and Kirill, maybe help me with this if he doesn't get the message here. What is the mindset that is required? There's a switch in everyone's mind that is an elite performer in anything. How do you access that? How do you get to the switch?
Серег, какой переключатель должен сработать в голове для того, чтобы действительно выйти и победить на Кубке мира?
Ну, у каждого этот переключатель свой, но это мое личное мнение. И когда я смотрю конкретно за командой в отборочных играх, и если, может быть, какие-то там маленькие нарезочки с ваших практики удается посмотреть, то к концу отборочного цикла, так как мы уже все давно знакомы, но опять же, я так считаю, что я это вижу, ты видишь, у кого какого винтика не хватает. Я всегда стараюсь писать персонально кому-то сообщение, помочь этот винтик найти или переключатель включить. Но он всегда у каждого свой. И, собственно, если у каждого он включается, то в целом весь механизм начинает работать.
Up to Sergey's experience, and his experience is actually the objective from our group over here, because Sergey won more World Cups than both Malloy and me. He's saying that there is no universal switch for every other person. This switch is very personal. And up to his experience of observing the team from a distance, he can see by the end of the preliminary rounds what part is missing. And he's personally trying to send those little parts and little switchers into the messages and into the heads of those players. And in case if the person finally creates his machine, turns on that switch, and every other person out of those 5 main squad and additional guys doing that, you just simply can't stop. That's it. I mean, all of the 10, 12 switches together with the coaches are turned on, those personal switches, and you're ready to go and do such kind of miracles that Fit has done last year. Because like I've been there, I've like in the grandstands, I saw that minutes left till the main time over. I saw the score 0-2. I said, okay, that's it. Impact our World Cup champions. I start walking off, and then the situation changed. That's when all of the switches on part of Fit guys being switched on completely, and they stopped playing defense. They start playing offense. They took the mojo, they took the momentum, and they created that fantastic story.
Matthew, we don't hear you.
We good to go now? Good to go?
Yeah.
You're good now.
Yeah. So,
Go.
yeah. So, it was one of the best stories ever told in the history of the game, or ever lived, and that we got to watch. Unbelievable for PB Fit. Now the stage is set here for Cup. With you guys as close as you are with first and second in the series title race, we could have a situation where somebody wins World Cup and wins the series title at the same time, which is incredibly rare. And then as far as your guys' overall records, it's pretty interesting because you guys are sitting at number one. Your overall record is actually not as so you're 19-5 and they're 20-5, plus 51 plus and minus on points for them, plus 47 for you guys. And then on Sunday, their plus minus is plus 21. You guys are plus 11. You've had some closer games on Sundays, but you guys are sitting first overall. So it's just very close on the top, because then after that, Impact is their Sunday overall record for the year is a -5, but they're sitting at a plus 27 for their plus 27. These are points for versus against, with a 14-4 overall record. Again, what matters is how you do at the tournaments. The placing, you get that you're placing, and that's the overall points. But when you kind of get into the weeds a little bit on how you guys have done in some of these situations, it's fascinating to me. And then as far as the brackets, have you guys looked at the brackets at all? The prelim brackets? I don't know if you guys have seen the bracket B, but bracket B is pretty disgusting. With Dynasty, Damage, Aftershock, Royal City Sea Dogs, and Joy Division. That to me is the bracket of death. Do you guys agree, disagree? I don't know. What do you think?
Серег, как считаешь, ты бы хотел в таком брекете-то отыграть? Как брекет B, где Династия, Damage, Joy и так далее.
Проверить себя, проверить команду. Да, конечно, группа смерти, блин.
Of course, Sergey would love to join that group because, it tells something about yourself. You could say, hey, I'm the best, whatever. But if you manage to go through that group at one of the top 2 places, you make a huge statement about your current condition, objective current condition.
Oh, I totally agree. And we've had a couple shows and we've discussed that specific bracket. We had Yosh Rao. If you guys haven't seen that show, go check it out. Yosh had some very honest things to say about stuff. But if I'm one of you guys, if I'm Legion, Fit, Impact, or Breakout Spa, I do not want to see whoever makes it out of bracket B in the quarterfinals. I'm hoping I'm on the other side of that bracket, to be honest. You guys could maybe sit here and be like, no, line them up. Yeah, I can't just bring us that team. We'll play that team. We'll smoke them. But if I'm being honest, I don't want to see anyone out of that bracket on my side of the bracket once we get to Sunday. I'm hoping that they're on the other side, we're on this side, and we'll see that team in the finals. Because if you make it out of that bracket, because Dynasty, Damage, Aftershock, the Sea Dogs have made a Sunday, and then Joy Division won a tournament overseas. I just don't see any of these other brackets being as difficult. You never know, though. I'm not saying you never know what's going to happen. It's World Cup. But I don't know. Malloy, what do you think? You want that team right out the gate, quarterfinals? What do you think?
I just I don't say about not about say teams. I don't want to say about teams. Yeah, I just want to say about hard games in the prelims. I be on this like how to say, I be on this like in the life in on statistics show what if you make your game you have like a hard bracket, and if your games like go hard, you have big chance to win the event. That's all. And I don't want to say to like someone teams like not good, someone good, some like hard bracket. It's like what you exactly say is true. Who knows what happened, because it's World Cup, same like last year.
Yeah, it's just the world. I love the first event of the year. I love them all. I just love watching paintball. I don't get tired of watching paintball. Live paintball is an amazing thing. It's a special creature. But the first event of the year and the last event of the year have their own specialness to them, because you have the off season, changes have made. How are certain guys going to meld with their new squads? And then the last event of the year, it's World Cup. There's a certain extra pressure that comes with the biggest and the best event of the year, when there's going to be 400 teams or 1,000, maybe 6,000 people, paintball fans walking around. It's crazy. So this World Cup has its own special quality to it, and that's where legends are made. So I mean, it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. And yeah, I'm really excited for this one, and I'm excited to see how you guys do. So one of the last questions before I let you guys go. Obviously, we're looking forward to seeing Sergey get back with the squad. But the question of your fifth man, because your starting four up until you picked up J-Rab was good. Obviously, you guys are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. We'll see if Karslev gets there. If he keeps going like he has, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame for sure too. But then you pick up J-Rab and you guys crush it. The three of you, J-Rab and Karslev, were just amazing. Lights out. It was incredibly impressive to watch. One of the best starting fives I've ever seen. So then Sergey, now he hasn't been able to be there for a past couple events, and then you've run with certain other bodies. Is this also a secret that the KGB is going to break down the door, or can we talk about who the fifth body is going to be for this one, or do we have to just wait to see once prelims hit of who your fifth body is going to be? Because you guys have run with a couple different guys.
I would say that we're not considering only the top 5 of our team as a team and those guys that we wish to play with. I mean, all 10 men in our squad are deserve playing the starter 5, to be honest, sir. Yeah. And that's why we work with the kids over here. That's why we spend our time with the kids over here. That's why we hire people into the team that way and provide them that best experience. So the best who's going to be proven their game, not only with the time for the practice, but also with their performance, would be there. So if, for example, Jameson would be playing better than anyone in the center, I would be happy to give that guy my spot in the center position. I believe Sasha is having all the same feelings that in case if Danny will be great number 1, he would be happy not to even step and play as number 1 on the snake side and be number 2 and support Danny with all the experience, information, and high support game as Sasha can perform out there. Sergey, all at the same time, if like Pasha is playing great, which is Karslave, is playing great down the D side, Sergey would never ever go forward and attack with his size and versatility, as you say that, Matty. But once again, if Pasha not doing that well and somebody else is going to be there, like MJ, like another young talent, or Eddie, another young talent that stays with the team for such a long time, the guy from Southern America, going to go and grind it, Sergey would be happy to join this guy's number 2 and play as a pair with this person out there. Because for us, overall, the team result is much more important than the individual one. With all the respect to all other ideas and talents and all that stuff.
No, and I mean, I understand that, and that's like a solid teammate thing to say, but the actual facts of the matter on the ground is that when, so then you lose Sergey, which you had your starting 5 dialed last year and it produced a series title, right? And then you go into a situation where, and yes, we've seen all these guys, and you got Smotrov back, and that was really cool because Smotrov was an up and coming really exciting player to watch for a couple of years, and then we didn't see him for a couple of years, and you got him back. But it's kind of been mostly Kuzmin, aka the Tiger King, wears the leopard print, head wrap, So we've seen Kuzmin a decent amount, and we've seen, I think you're calling him Eddie, Alberto Vasquez, and we've seen Vasquez a decent amount. And we just haven't seen the other guys as much. You know, I mean, we saw Smotrov did kind of move into the starting five and play the middle for you guys on that interesting layout, and he did really well. Obviously, you guys got a lot of weapons, but it does seem that based on what the coaches have seen in practice and the leaders of the squad, you know, you guys giving them insight, I don't know exactly how much that works for you guys as far as who has say and playing time, but it's been mostly Vasquez and mostly Kuzmin. With a little bit of Johnson, a little bit of everybody else. So, I mean, but like I don't know, Kirill, I guess what you're saying is that, because I agree with this too, it's like this starts in practice. If you want to make the starting five, you got to show up and crush it in practice. And we saw all those guys play pretty well for you guys in the 3-man. You know, that you guys were getting them a lot of spins in the 3-man. So I don't know. This is one of those things for me. I'm like, okay, well, who are they going to go with as the fifth body here? Which is why I really was, stoked to get Sergey in here, because I would love to see you back over here and be
Make
that.
sure
that
you
body.
come to World Cup.
Anyway,
I'll see what happens.
That would be great. I can't wait to see you back over here again. You've been doing this for 20 years, bro. You've won 24 tournaments. You're still in the prime of your life.
Yeah.
So let's get you back over here.
Getting back to your question, Matty. Getting back to your question, sir. Malloy said a fantastic story about the way how Sergey managed to get his time on the squad. So when Sergey told him, hey, go show me what you got, Sergey went and showed all what he got. And he kept showing this, even with this injury that he's having, with working out as hard as is possible to get back with us as quick as is possible. Sasha is having all the same story, but a little bit earlier. It was 2005, NXL Ball, somewhere in East Coast, Pomona, probably, when it was super rainy. That was the first event of the season. And one of our elder guys was not performing really well on the snake side, and Malloy got the same chance. He was like the smallest guy in a squad. He was practicing with all the old guys. He was practicing with all us teenagers. And all of a sudden, coaches are saying, hey, Vlad, you're not doing the great job. Sasha, can you go and do this? And Malloy went. He dove into the dirt. His gun was stuck with the dirt, and his trigger was firing all the time. He managed to take away this illegal act and kill people out there, and managed to show the performance. And he gained his place, and he gained his name in that moment, so on and so forth. So let's say that position 5 is wide open so far for our squad, and any other person that is in the squad so far has this possibility to state about himself. And that's actually what wins the cup. Those people who can state about themselves and make this turn on.
No, I well said. I couldn't agree with it more. Again, this is a keep what you kill environment. This is a you have to prove it. What have you done for me lately? Get out there and play well. And if whoever plays the best, that's who plays. That's how winning franchises work, and that's the only way it should work if you want to win paintball tournaments. So no, I think that's awesome, and I'm just still wondering. I'm like, okay, who's it going to be? I'm sure we're going to see a couple different looks out there, and we do got a 3-man to get through as well too. So yeah, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a wild ride here for World Cup. We got a big long event. We got a 4-day competition for the standard X ball. We got the 3-man, so it's going to be a 5-day event. It's going to be a marathon. I'm going to warm up my vocal cords so I can talk for 5 days straight. Yeah, it's going to be a good one, man. Well, I really appreciate you guys' time. I know you guys have been out there grinding. Sergey, thank you so much for checking in with us from Moscow.
Thank you, guys.
Wish you the best, man. Hope you get ready to go and can get back here as soon as possible. And yeah, I just think you guys are building for the future. You guys have picked up a lot of young talent. You guys are trying to hone it. You're building a facility here in the States. And as I always say, I just love having the leading lights here on this show to talk about what they're doing, how they're doing it, and to let the people know what's possible. And you guys have definitely over time really showed the paintball world what's possible from a strategy, training, and winning standpoint. And it's just been really, really cool. So I wish you guys the best of luck. And everyone out there, thank you guys so much for joining us. Check in again, November 12th through the 16th. Again, we got a 5-day event, 3-man competition going down, then 4 days of the best in the world throwing down. And I know it's last minute, but if you can get to World Cup, you definitely want to go there, because it is an absolute monster of a beautiful, beautiful paintball tournament, and I can't wait to go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Malloy, Kirill, Sergey, hope to see you soon, and I'll see you guys next week. Blessings, and God
Thank
bless.
you.
Love you guys so much. I'll talk to you next week.